Revelio.
Are you ready to put an end to Harlow?
I'm ready to do what's...
We must gather at...
All right.
I suggest that... And as my mother would never go near...
Very well. I'll speak with them. See what I can learn.
I knew I could rely on you. We need to know how they are being blackmailed by Rookwood and Harlow. Meet me here after you have spoken with them. Hopefully, by the time you return, I will be able to move a bit more freely.
Agabus Filbert must be around here somewhere.
Hello there.
Excuse me, Mr. Filbert. I wondered if I might speak with you about your dealings with Theophilus Harlow. I hope to ease Mrs. Bickle's mind by gathering evidence against him.
Tragic, what happened. But I feared Harlow's retaliation, and so I refused.
If you had spoken out against him as Mr. Bickle asked, perhaps Harlow would be locked away by now.
Perhaps. But... perhaps I would have suffered a similar fate.
You said that
One day, before I knew it, I watched help. I
imagine you fear Harlow retaliating again. But do you mind if I share this information with Officer Singer?
No. Harlow does not like people talking, as you already know.
Now to find Mr. Bickle's other two friends. Otto Dibble works at Gladrags. I should check there.
That young Otto Dibble at Gladrags.
Mrs. Rabe should be nearby.
Isco. What have I done?
Mrs. Rabe, I wondered if I might speak with you about Theophilus Harlow. I'm a friend of the Bickles and I'm trying to gather evidence against him.
Poor Joanna and little Archie. And now Harlow has taken my...
What do you mean? Why?
I'm a security guard at Gringotts, and my husband is a curse breaker for them. Harlow approached me about helping him extort my colleagues into giving him treasures from the vaults.
And you declined?
Of course I declined. The note stated that I only had a few, but the help Harlow wants is help that I cannot give, and my dearest Isco is paying the price.
Thank you, Mrs. Rabe. No...
Mr. Bickle was trying...
I shall do all I can.
Very well. Here's the note I received.
Some evidence worth hanging on to.
Thank you. I hope it's not too late.
We're on the right track. Now to find the last of Mr. Bickle's friends.
Please tell me you didn't take it. But perhaps it's been...
Mr. Dibble, may I speak with you? It's about Theophilus Harlow.
I've nothing to say about him. May I interest you in a stunning cravat today?
Please, sir, I would like to help. I spoke to Mrs. Bickle.
You know the Bickles? All right. But we must be discreet. Can't have Mr. Hill hearing this.
I know Mr. Hill. He was kind to me the day of the troll attack.
Oh, he's a good man. But even he wouldn't understand about Harlow. It started a few weeks ago. I was distracted, reading a note, when you-know-who came into the shop. I hid the note behind the counter and offered to help him. He stared at me for a moment, then asked me to check on an order he'd placed. I went into the storeroom to check on what turned out to be a non-existent order. When I returned, he was holding the note.
What was in the note?
It was a note from Rosie Hill, Mr. Hill's daughter. You see, we've been, secretly engaged these past 6 months. We haven't told Mr. Hill yet. I dare say he has higher hopes for her. Harlow advised me in no uncertain terms that my relationship with Rosie, not to mention my employment here, depended upon my cooperation.
What did he ask you to do?
It all happened so quickly. In an instant, he took a very expensive scarf from the counter, pocketed it, and smiled. He said, "Your secret is safe as long as I can supply my lady friend with delightful items like this every so often." I've been able to cover for his requests until now with some creative bookkeeping, but I can't keep it up for much longer. I'm terrified to say anything. I could never live without Rosie.
Could you give me a bit more detail about the note that might help me to identify it should I come across it?
It's on Rosie's special pink stationery. It has her monogram at the top, RH. That's how Mr. Hill would know it was real.
Thank you for telling me. I'm gathering evidence to take Harlow down.
I would love nothing more than to see him rotting in Azkaban, but be careful. He's an awful man and incredibly dangerous. As for Rosie's letter, should you happen upon it, I have committed it to memory. You may destroy it immediately.
Understood.
Now hurry off before Mr. Hill returns. Where was I?
I've spoken with Mr. Bickle's friends. Now to find Natty. like Natty to be late. She said she was going to the Hog's Head. Perhaps I'll find her there.
My plan is to have a nap. People's hearts and denoting the garden.
Very partial to Muggle publications. I know that much.
Muggle publication? A Thomas Brown shop?
Let's look at what we have, shall we? Let's look at what we have, shall we?
I better go on. I question honestly.
Natty must be around here somewhere. Natty's wand. She can cast without it. She wanted me to find this. She's in trouble. Revelio will show me where she was taken.
Nosy little students get what's coming to them.
Revelio.
When I was a girl, I wanted to work with unicorns.
Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. Footprints led to this room. There must be another way forward. The hidden door. Revelio. Natty must have been taken this way. I need to find her quickly. better be sure I'm not seen.
It's not gonna work. Using that girl as bait, no one's coming for her. We ought to just kill her. Only a Hogwarts student would be arrogant enough to come in here alone. What? I know you're there.
I may go to Hogsmeade later. Stir up.
Pick up some.
What are your thoughts on electricity?
You'll feel that tomorrow. If you last that long.
That's just the beginning.
Now, this is becoming personal.
You're no match for me.
Who looks at the likes of us as rather cool?
Book of poems that was taken from Agabus Filbert. He'll be thrilled to have this back.
Revelio.
Hey. Hey.
Otto Dibble's love letter from Rosie. He wanted me to destroy this if I found it.
Revelio.
Oi.
Revelio. Revelio.
Hey. We should speak to her again. Perhaps you'll tell us where we can find that friend of hers.
She's determined to say nothing. Boss will deal with her when he arrives. Expulso!
What are you, John? This is your first duel, isn't it?
Revelio.
Now to finish the job. Expulso! Expulso! Might want to look up.
Incendio.
Give it back. Now you've gone too far.
Incendio. Natty must be here somewhere.
You found it. I knew you would realize I had left my wand for you. Speak to Mr. Rabe.
Alohomora.
He will tell you what you need to do.
Mr. Rabe, Daisy told me you'd been abducted.
You spoke with my wife.
Worried about you. Are you all right?
I am... These locks...
Mr. Rabe, I found your wand.
Well done. I knew it was nearby.
Thank you, Mr. Isco.
My pleasure. And thank you, my friend. We owe our lives to your bravery. I may be too weak to disapparate with you both, but I can try.
You go ahead. Find Officer Singer. We will get out of here on our own.
Very well. But be careful. Thank you, my young friends.
Be prepared for a fight. These Ashwinders must pay. Let's find Officer Singer and put an end to Harlow once and for all.
Natsai Onai. I should have known. And you, the troll dispatcher. Oh, thank goodness the two of you are safe. Isco Rabe told me a couple of students had rescued him. Should have known it was you two.
Is Mr. Rabe all right?
He is. I sent him home to his wife. Miss Onai, your mother will not be pleased to learn that you're still risking your safety pursuing these dangerous men.
Actually, Officer Singer, Natty and I learned of several Hogsmeade residents who've had their lives threatened by the Ashwinders. In addition to abducting Mr. Rabe to blackmail his wife and Natty, Rookwood and Harlow have also extorted Agabus Filbert.
I will look into... I appreciate what you're trying to do, but you are taking great risk.
Yes, officer. Do you have enough evidence to...
Well, it's certainly a good start. Natsai, you may wish to speak with your mother about this before I do.
My mother will not like this. Thank you again for rescuing me. We shall speak soon.
Revelio.
What are you up to now?
How have you managed to cover? Thought you had me there. What was that? You will pay for that. Good Ringo! That's our ransom. We had that murder woman to incendio, you big rapper. Is that all they're teaching in school these days? Good Ringo! You put quite a few of mine through. You'll need to be quicker than that. Incendio! Held your own for a while now, haven't you?
One less poacher in the wizarding world. Revelio.
I can do this. I can do this. They will want to help.
Is this where we're meeting the centaur?
What?
Once we tell them about the Snidgets...
Perhaps they'll be able...
I hope they can tell we're sincere, but... Poppy, centaurs are just... centaurs. They can't read your mind.
Perhaps you're right.
What is it?
It's nothing, truly.
That's right. We'll simply be honest with them about what we're trying to do. They'll have to help us, won't they?
Yes, of course. You're absolutely right. We'll meet with them, tell them about the Snidgets, and I'm sure it'll all be fine.
What do you think you're doing here, humans?
Please! We were hoping to speak with you.
Ah! I suppose you'd like a tale for your friends of the time you spoke to a centaur, and it spoke back.
No, never! We're here because we need your help.
Enough! You made a grave error in judgment in coming here, little witch.
Leave them be, Alec. We do not harm the young. It is not our way.
You forget your place, old fool. I'm the leader of this herd, and while you cling to our way, their kind continue to slaughter beasts like us without a care!
From what I can see, they have slaughtered no one. They will leave here unharmed.
Mark my words, Doran. If I ever see them again, it will be all 3 of your heads.
I don't understand. So then, what do Moonstones have to do with Snidgets? And why was he so certain?
I don't know, but I am inclined to believe him, what with his being a centaur and all.
I am too. It is a shame how quickly he left. What was his name?
That's what the leader of the herd called him.
Well, I can head to the library and start looking into the cave. I'll let you know what I find.
Revelio.
You are the talk of the school since you saved Mr. Rabe and I from the Ashwinders. We have come so far. We should discuss the next steps in our plan to stop Harlow.
Welcome back.
Hello, Professor. I have news. The goblins are looking for something. Another repository. They've built drills to help with their search.
Most troubling. Have a look at... Fortunately, the next...
It's Hogwarts.
As you know, I was headmistress and... In fact...
Wait, is the next trial in the headmaster's office?
It is. I had hoped that when the time came, the occupant of that office would be of help to us. Unfortunately, this...
I understand. Very well. We'll find...
Good. I shall meet...
How will I gain access to the headmaster's office? Perhaps Professor Fig will know what to do. Professor Fig, the Keepers have shown me where the next trial is.
Has something changed?
Lodgok and I have learned that the goblins are searching for another repository, like the one we saw at Rookwood Castle. And I discovered that they're building massive drills to help in their search. Professor Fitzgerald seemed very concerned.
I see. Ranrock clearly knows even more than we suspected.
And, sir, there's something else. Lodgok knew Miriam.
He knew Miriam?
They encountered each other at Rookwood Castle. She was doing research. That's where she found the container with the port key. He liked her so much that he let her leave with it, despite orders from Ranrock.
I don't know what to say. She could win over almost anyone. I want to hear more of this. And, in fact, I'd like to speak with Lodgok directly. But we've no time now. Where is the next trial?
Believe it or not, it's in the headmaster's office.
Incredible. Very well. You'll need the password to get past the stone gargoyle. The headmaster's house elf will know it.
I don't know the headmaster's house elf. Will he even speak to me? I imagine he's loyal to the headmaster.
He is. So you'll need a disguise. I have just the thing. A polyjuice potion. You'll look and sound like Professor Black.
Wait, doesn't polyjuice potion require a bit of the person you want to change into? And take ages to brew?
It does.
So how do you already have polyjuice potion to change into Professor Black?
One never knows when such a thing may come in handy. Let's just say I felt the need to be prepared for anything after my fruitless trip to the ministry on his behalf. Now, time is of the essence. Drink up and I shall explain more. How do you feel?
Incredible. I won't forget that.
Convincing. I've taken the liberty of transfiguring your robes. As we discussed, she's taken to badgering the poor elf about Quidditch in the hopes that he can convince Black to change his mind. Thus far, unsuccessfully.
I see. But what if Professor Black sees me?
Leave him to me. I shall tell him where to meet a liaison from the ministry in Hogsmeade. That should give you plenty of time.
Thank you, Professor. I suppose we'll meet again in the map chamber.
It's rather strange to hear gratitude coming.
Now to find the headmaster's house elf.
Professor, a moment of your time, please. Professor, I was hoping to catch you.
Places to be, Professor Sharp. Places to be.
Of course, sir. Only, you'd asked me about a particular potion.
I did? I did, yes. Well, spit it out, Sharp. I don't have all day.
Probably best not to discuss it here, sir.
Really? Why can't we talk about potions here? Seems fine to me.
Very well. I've brewed the cure for boils you wanted. I can drop it by your office when it's convenient.
Of course, yes. No need for all the cloak and dagger. Simply have a student.
A student. Very well, sir, if you insist.
I do. And
now, to determine which student gets this rather unenviable task.
Has anyone seen my ivory-handled hand mirror? Of course you haven't. If you must speak with me, consult my secretaries or what have you. Now move along.
I thought I heard the headmaster approaching.
Gareth! Mr. Weasley, what are you doing here? Don't you have, somewhere to be?
Oh, Professor, yes, of course. All sorts of places I'd rather be right now. Do you need something from me?
I'm looking for my house elf. Surely you've seen him?
Ah, the little one-eared fellow. I saw him heading to the Great Hall moments ago, muttering on about your, sterling graces, sir.
I hear you're getting quite good at those concoctions you brew. I say, why don't you bring a sample of your next batch to my office? I'd like to give it a try.
What? Yes, sir. I will. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, there's one for my diary.
When I witness what passes for magic in these halls,
Headmaster, here, what could he want?
Mr. Gaunt, where do you think you're going?
I beg your pardon, sir. I'm simply on my way outside.
Taking the day off, eh? Typical student, wasting the hours away.
I have to write 20 inches on Dittany and its uses. Was heading to the greenhouse.
Ah, yes. Mixed with, I assure you...
Something is very wrong with Professor Black. Dittany and Boober pass. Moustache paste.
Chewing with your mouth open? Where are your manners?
Professor, a word? Professor Black, again, it is not too late to reconsider your decision regarding Quidditch. We could still have trials and a somewhat shortened season. It would be better than none at all.
But the injury, Madam Kogawa.
Professor, more than one student has taken a bludger to the head on our pitch. I dare say it knocked some sense into them. And they are fine now. The fact that it happened to be a pureblood, well, that's no reason to...
What nonsense! That you would trivialize the health of a student over a silly game.
A silly...
Good idea. I can even provide the
Parchment? What did we do to deserve him as a...
Greetings! I mean, out of my way, children!
My older sister's taught me everything I need to know.
Oh no, it's the headmaster and he's coming this way.
Miss Broom, a word.
Oh, Professor, this is an interesting surprise. It's Bloom, by the way.
Remind me of your area of affinity, Broom. OWLs are swift approaching.
Charms, sir. Not...
Well, keep at it, Broom. And before you know it, you'll be as invisible as that new fifth year seems to be.
They're not... Something seems a little off with the headmaster.
I haven't time for any of you at the moment. None. None at all.
Professor, a word, please. Hello, Professor Black.
Ah, Professor Weasley. How delightful to see you.
Sir?
Since I have you here, I wonder if I might, speak with you about Professor Fig.
Oh, very well.
I've decided to give him a bit more, leeway with his time.
Leeway, Professor? Are you sure that's wise? I can...
Ah, well, yes. He's handling some official ministry business for me.
I see. But, sir, if I may, I am wary of how much time the new fifth year seems to be spending away. I've heard unsettling rumors of their escapades. Everything from sneaking into the Forbidden Forest to confronting Ranrock's loyalists and Rookwood's lot.
What? Goodness. You cannot believe everything you hear, Professor. No, you cannot. I mean, I shall keep an eye on Fig. You simply keep doing the wonderful job that you're doing. Simply wonderful. Good. That'll be all, Weasley. I mean, Professor Weasley. Good day.
A wonderful job. Leeway for Professor Fig. I shall never understand that much.
That ought to give Professor Fig some breathing room.
Professor Black is happy with Scrope's performance as his house elf.
Scrope!
Oh, greetings, Master.
Remind me of the password to my office.
Oh, but Master made Scrope swear never to tell anyone, even Master himself.
How dare you question me? I've a mind to give you a matching set of ears.
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Scrope begs forgiveness. It is the Black family motto, Master.
Right. Of course.
Master does remember it.
Of course I remember. It's the Black family reigns.
Is Master giving Scrope a test?
It's pure bloods forever, isn't it?
Close, Master. Scrope thinks Master is indeed testing Scrope. It is always pure.
Obviously.
And, of course, as Master knows, in French.
Ah! Yes, of course. I order you to pronounce it for me.
Oh, but Master knows that Scrope's French is most pitiful. Oh, very well. Toujours pur.
Ha! Thank you. Never speak of this conversation with me or anyone else.
Of course, sir. Scrope shall try his best to keep out of Master's way.
The polyjuice potion's wearing off. I best get out of sight. Made it just in time. It's wearing off.
Fig was right. I can't believe it worked. Now, to speak the password to the gargoyle.
I've always said that travel broadens.
Ah, I have been meaning to speak with you.
I still can't believe we escaped the Ashwinders.
You may not realize it, but you are the talk of the school since you saved me that day.
I wonder how everyone knows about it.
I told my mother in the hope that she would be more forgiving of what I have been up to if it came from me. She likely told other professors, and news travels quickly. Unfortunately, she might, in fact, have been even less forgiving than I'd hoped.
If she knew more about what you've done, I suspect she'd be proud.
If she knew any more about what I've done, she would never let me out of her sight again.
I'm sorry. Has Officer Singer done anything with the evidence we provided?
She has not. Harlow is as strong as ever. Someone needs to stop him, whether it is us or Officer Singer. If someone had stopped the monsters like him in Matabeleland, my father would be alive today.
What exactly happened to your father?
It was...
galloping. Your father was also an animagus, I take it?
He could become the most majestic giraffe. And he would carry me on his back, my arms around his neck. We were on our way home when we surprised a group of bandits who had come from our village. One of them saw me just as he removed a scarf from his face. He shouted.
He didn't...
Exactly. As he fell, my father changed back into his human form. When the bandits saw this, they turned and ran in fear. And then he was gone. And it was all my fault.
Your fault? How so?
He died protecting me. If I had been capable of protecting myself, he would still be my mother and I. A few years later.
I'm sorry, Natty. I can't imagine what you've been through. Your father sounds exceptional.
He was. We all have our burdens.
Yes, I remember.
Exactly. And once he is gone, we are making progress. And we will. Thank you again for saving me. You deserve all of the praise you have received.
Off on another adventure, are we? nice to see you, my young friend.
Alohomora. Revelio. Revelio. The gargoyle. That's where I need to speak the password. Revelio. Lumos. Alohomora.